Welcome, acolytes. Today I am reacting to Ref says Desu community notes violating people they tried to farm Hololive. If you don't know what Hololive is one of the positive examples of actually a firm that actually tries to give a refrigerator about the community and actually does some good things for their people, the people that actually play for them, with their stuff. And it's actually quite wholesome, I would say, or wholesome. I mean, it's still a gigantic firm, so yeah. But it's actually quite okay. Like Hololive, not the worst thing that could have happened. Let's just say it like that. But let's start and see what Ref has to say about it. And by the way, if you like my content, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification button.
So welcome back to another edition of Community Notes Violating People. This is becoming a monthly segment on this channel where we look at the community note system on Twitter, which, in case you don't know, it is a communal fact-check system where qualified users can leave notes under tweets, providing additional information about the subject of the tweet, dispelling misinformation, and other things like that. It is a generally very useful tool, but it also leads to some very funny results and people getting exposed for trying to spread lies. Now, before we get into today's examples, I'm going to provide you guys with another...
By the way, damn, I like that. Well, I mean, Cointones probably nobody really listens to it. I assume at least, but I mean, I still have to learn how to Twitter correctly at this time.
Another very useful tool, thanks to the sponsor of today's video. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the GigaChads at Factor have returned to sponsor this video. Get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders using my link. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone. Now, what is Factor? It is a trusted meal delivery service featuring a large selection of delicious pre-made meal options for you to enjoy. Look, you're busy. Why spend your free time shopping at the grocery store or cooking complicated recipes that require extensive cleanup afterwards? Get chef-prepared meals on the table in just 2 minutes with Factor's ready-to-eat meals so you can get back to doing things you actually enjoy, like anime girls and /order my videos.
Of course!
That's right. All it takes is the ability to press a few buttons on the microwave and 2 minutes of patience to have delicious meals ready to eat. And trust me when I say I stand by their quality. I also love Factor because they offer not only delicious meals, but also high-protein and diet-conscious meal options for people like me who want to maximize their gains at the gym. Thanks again to Factor for sponsoring this video. Once again, click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders.
And by the way, I'm doing this because I heard from a lot of people that actually say, or a lot of people, like right now there are even more people that actually, if you react to a video, it's very appreciated if you actually just let them talk about their sponsor, because that actually helps the people that do the videos. So, I mean, why not? Why not?
Welcome back, guys. So typically when it comes to community notes, they're very straightforward. Like this one, for example, where the note is explaining the very confusing concept of how an actor would look older as time passes on. However, this other situation and accompanying note we're going to look at is a bit more complicated and has some context that needs to be explained. So the other day, a YouTuber made a video called Everything Wrong with VTubers, listing out the reasons and the issues they have with the VTubing scene generally. And
I mean, fair enough. If you think there's, or if you stay fair, why not? It sounds interesting, to be honest.
And this would cause a lot of controversy because of the first minute of that video, which was also shared in this teaser video that they released promoting the video onto Twitter. Now, what
the fuck, a teaser video for something like that? What? Really? That's something we're doing? Damn. Well, I'm still lazy.
Went wrong? Well, in the beginning, they tried to frame a bunch of VTubers, including Hololive members, specifically Japanese Hololive members, as racist for what they are trying to frame as them saying the N-word. Now, this would be hit with a note dispelling a lot of this. So first of all, one of the examples includes...
Are you shitting me? Really? Really? Is this where we're going again? For fuck's sake, this is unbelievable. Oh, okay, yeah, I believe it.
A VTuber singing karaoke while reading the lyrics, and that's when she said it, and then immediately apologized for it. Worse yet, included were a bunch of...
Well, If it's in a song, not a real problem, to be honest, or I don't see a problem, because the word was already said by a human being in the song. And I do not give a fuck which race you are. If you do it, if it's okay, it's for every human being okay. Of course, there are some differences where you can say it has a culture thing, but no, not if you're selling it. Then no, then it's not a culture thing anymore. As soon as you sell it, no, it's done. It's for everybody.
Of clips of Japanese VTubers repeating the word as a character in GTA said. So they were simply repeating a line in English they did not understand. And then the most egregious example was one clip where basically he was trying to frame a Japanese term that sounds like the N-word in English as them actually saying the N-word. And making it even worse, it appears that those clips and the way that they said the word was shortened to make it sound even more like they were saying the N-word in English, when in reality they were saying a simple, inoffensive Japanese term. Now,
so by the way, just because in a different culture some words sound familiar doesn't mean they are the same words. And it's extremely fucked up and dissensitive for the culture if you actually say, oh no, you did exactly something bad just because my culture says it's bad. F off. F off. Just get exposed to some cultures that you actually don't know and just live that for a fucking moment. Human beings don't live in the same effing garden.
There were other big issues with this video. At one point, he mentions how horrible it is that people were sharing the personal information, former friends were sharing personal information of the VTuber Kenji, and how terrible that was. But then, in this first section of the video, literally 10 seconds in, they share an uncensored shot of a VTuber's real-life face, an agency VTuber's real-life face from their past life account that has no association with their current activities. Now, when we get to a subject like this, as
that's disgusting. I feel dirty even just listening to this. Oh, that's disgusting.
As always, I have to make it very, very, very clear, I do not want anyone going out and trying to find this related clip and to also mention this VTuber by name in the comment section. All you need to know is that this was something that was completely wrong. This was a violation of their privacy and something that is a big no-no in the VTubing scene and had no other purpose in this video other than to spite the person in question. Again, please do not mention this person out of respect for them, but that is the context as to what happened. And initially when they were criticized for including that in the teaser video on not only Twitter but in the video itself, they mocked all the calls for them to apologize. In fact, they would double, triple, and quadruple down in a series of non-apology apology videos where they would say it was no big deal and that they stood by what they did. However, eventually the teaser image would be deleted and the portion of the video that contained this section would be edited out by the uploader. So that is one of the reasons I feel comfortable talking about this in the first place, because these related videos have been edited or completely removed from Twitter. But as you can see in this now deleted post as well, that this person who made this video is in no way sorry for what they did, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know that they are definitely not sorry for what they did. They are just trying to cover their own ass and delete some tweets and edit things out, because they should be much more worried about Cover Corp, because a lot of people reported that clip and the video to Cover Corp. And yeah, I'd be a lot less concerned about your fragile pride on Twitter and your refusal to apologize. And I'd be much more worried about what Cover Corp is doing, especially when you make it very clear that you had the full intent to do what you did on multiple levels. By
the way, now think about it. You have people like this. And there are some people, or a lot of people, that are actually like this. And now, think about it. This person literally doesn't give a single fuck. They do not care. So, at the end, is it actually something good or bad if you show them some consequences? That if you do this, you actually get consequences out of it. And I don't mean like small consequences like, oh, you are a bad boy. How bad of you. I mean consequences, actual financial consequences. Because people like that, in my opinion, can only learn if they get consequences. They do not care about anything else. If they don't get consequences for something, they will just repeat it. And if the same thing just happened to them, would you be like, I don't think it should have happened? Or are you more like me, by the way, that, nah, I didn't hit an innocent person, I don't care. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
By the way, that would offend some of the reputations of these Hololive VTubers. But yeah, I'd be much more worried about that. But that is...
What? This guy, did I just understand it correctly? The guy that doxed the person was a Hololive? What the fuck? I hope this person got instantly kicked out. Like instantly. I would, if I knew, okay, this was one of my coworkers, I'll be, you're done. No, we're not playing. You're done. You're out. That's not something you're doing. The only exclusion I would have if the person already done it to them, it's of course eye for an eye, it's not the best option, but on the other hand, as long as you don't hit an innocent in a broad thing like didn't commit the same amount or as bad as of a crime as the person that did the crime, so yeah.
Is the situation for now. So what were we doing again? Oh yeah, community notes violating people. So let's get back to the usual format of this video. So here is the first note. Speaking of framing people as racist when they're not. So we have this clip that got a lot of attention where this person said, white people always messing with other people's culture, referring to this girl right here doing this dance. So you can see the note. It says, in the video, this girl is a Swedish Indonesian dancer who lives in Bali and speaks the local language fluently. She is here performing legong, a style of Balinese dance characterized by exaggerated hand movements and facial expressions.
What's the problem? What's the effing actual problem here? She lives there. She actually is in the culture. And this is one of the things where I would say, okay, if you appropriate this is bad. But after, if you show respect to the culture, it's fine. And she does. And I just don't see the problem in this.
Which was a big issue with the people replying to this. They were making fun of the faces that she was making, claiming that she was ugly and that she was disrespecting their culture. However, the facial expressions are a part of this dance. So unwittingly, these people were actually insulting the culture by going after this girl who was actually respecting and...
Well, and they were racist again. Dissing the woman performing this dance and the culture. 2 in 1. Bravo. A combo like no other. Or that's not that often. Bravo.
Appreciating that culture. Now, moving on to the next tweet, we see an example like this in every segment we do about community notes violating people. It's an example of an animal being hurt or put in a dangerous situation, and it's framed as something cute.
By the way, this, he's suffocating. It may seem like a laugh for us, but he's grasping for his fucking life right now. Oh, it's in the sense there, yeah, sorry.
Stingrays like to be tickled, apparently. And you can see that the stingray's smiling.
No, The thing is, I know stingrays actually like attention. It's not specifically the tickling, but stingrays, and by the way, do not go to freaking wild stingrays. If you thought about it, you absolute freaking bollock. No. If it's a stingray and it actually appreciates a bit of like playful banter or just tickling it on the tummy. It can happen, but you really have to freaking know what you're doing, first of all. And second of all, not freaking suffocate it.
Guys, it's loving it. No, it's not. It says in the note here, the stingray is suffocating and is not enjoying being tickled. Yes, again, very weird that people keep framing things like this, but I'm glad the notes are catching on to this once again. Here's another common theme we see in these types of videos where this tweet claims, Riley Gaines is a man. And the note says, Riley Gaines is a woman, an adult human female. The way that Twitter is trying to gaslight people into thinking that liking any woman with a tint of tone to their muscle is somehow wrong or gay or weird, or it makes this person not a woman. It's very strange.
Yeah, I mean, she trains. What's the problem? She goes for muscle definition. And definitively not my thing. I like them smooth. But hey, it doesn't have to be. I'm not the only freaking guy on this world, so. But still, fuck.
Strange how common this is on Twitter, but I'm glad that the notes are continuing to shut down this weird attack on many different people in this scenario, mainly this woman who's being randomly attacked by someone for absolutely no reason. The simple crime of, I guess, being in shape. But moving on to the next note from creepy.org, Lockheed scientist Boyd Bushman shows a series of photographs of an alleged alien being before his death. And the note says the alien was an exact match to a plastic alien toy which was being sold at Walmart prior to the interview. Ah, yes. Another note for creepy.org. They are trying to basically stack it up. I think they're going for the world record of community notes on their account. But moving on to the next one, this one says, the NFL draft is a lot like a slave auction, except the slaves aren't working for free. Where the note says, slaves are involuntarily held against their will, forced to work by threat of violence. The NFL players are voluntarily engaging in their chosen profession, and they can quit at any time. And also, they make very good money in the process, and what they do with that money is up to them. But to compare the NFL draft to the slave trade is insane. An insane thing, and I'm glad, once again, the notes are shutting it down. But moving on to some game journalists. So, Games Radar here, reporting that Helldivers 2 is the best RPG of 2024. Do you agree? Well, the note does not agree. It says Helldivers 2 is a PvE squad-based shooter, not an RPG. And game journalists getting basic facts wrong about the topic that they're trying to cover is nothing surprising. But moving on to the next one, this says the first trailer for Barry Jenkins' live-action Lion King prequel Mufasa, The Lion King, showing the trailer here. But the note says this movie is not live action. And I think that is the least of their concerns. Look at the trailer for this on YouTube. Look at the like-dislike ratio. That is absolutely brutal and looks like another upcoming Disney flop. They are really struggling with their movies right now, and it's sad to see. I just wish they would actually release something good, like for their own interest and also the enjoyment.
By the way, I also would prefer if they just released freaking good things. Why? Because I also profit from that. I have something enjoyable. And there are enough, let's just say not so smart people, that actually want some drama. In a stupid way. So I wouldn't even miss it. I personally, of course. But that's just my opinion, acolytes.
Of everyone else. But moving on to the next note, and this is the most egregious tweet I have seen all day. Okay, so Bay Area's State of Mind says this. A groundhog named Chunk has been stealing a farmer's crop from Delaware for 4 years and eats it right in front of a surveillance camera. This is a very serious set of allegations against Chunk, okay? Chunk is a respectable member of the community, and I don't appreciate you saying these things, and I'm glad the note set the record straight. It says Chunk, the groundhog, isn't stealing. The owner planted a garden especially for Chunk and his family. And by the way, Chunk's girlfriend is called Nibbles, and they have 4 kids. That's right, take it.
That's so cute. And so wholesome. Damn. That's so wholesome. Oh my god. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck about not animals like that. I mean, I wouldn't do it. And that somebody actually takes their time to do this stuff just to be purely, just so they can see something actually wholesome. That's beautiful. That's just beautiful. It's just something positive we need in our lives from time to time.
Bayside state of mind. How dare you come after Chunk and his family? I'm glad the note shut down this slander. Moving on to the next tweet from The Economist, saying gangs are gaining ground in Latin America. This is why iron fist policies won't beat them back, where the note says El Salvador's iron fist gang crackdown led to murders dropping by 70% in 2023. Who would have thought imprisoning and punishing violent criminals would reduce violent crime? That is crazy talk right there. I can't believe that this is happening. Moving on to the next one. This person says, did we cancel D-Day because of a little rough weather? No. Play the game. Where they're hit with a note saying D-Day was delayed by a day because of the weather. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, especially like older people on social media, try to make this claim over and over again, and just stop for your own, your own pride here. This is embarrassing to say, but also it gives me kind of the vibes of like, when like your grandparents or someone are talking about like how rough things used to be, like when they would take their old walk to school. I used to go 15 miles uphill both ways on my commute to school. Like, it's just like you could put it to rest. This is a little goofy. Moving on, here's another note. A tweet saying scientists at Stanford University have reconstructed this 3D model of how Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, might have looked. And the note says this is Dua Lipa 3D model. It kind of reminds me of like that article, like this is what gamers will look like in 20 years. But moving on to the next one. So it says no community note. He actually did that, referring to someone saying this is not Metal Gear Rising prop. Hideo Kojima can just do that with this police car chopped in half, where the note says Hideo Kojima can actually do that. Wow. Amazing. Okay. My mind has been blown. But moving on, here is the final note of this video from I just noticed the @ of this person. Oh my god. But they say there is no same shape. And the note says cylinder, because there's 2 cylinders. It's the simpler notes that I really enjoy the most. But yeah, that's going to do it for another round of community notes violating people. A new staple in this channel, probably once a month from now on. But I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. And I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, this was beautiful.
I just finished playing God of War.
Oh. Okay, lovely. I love, like, ref, absolute freaking god. But as it is, acolytes, good night.